Most people don't lose because they're weak. They lose because they're late, or early, or rushed into a move that wasn't theirs. Watch the pattern. Someone interrupts you, and you speed up. Someone goes cold, and you chase. Someone throws heat, and you answer before you think. You call it conversation. It's not. It's tempo warfare. Tempo is how they steal your judgment without touching you. Fast tempo creates mistakes. Slow tempo creates need. Erratic tempo creates addiction. And once they've trained your timing, they don't need to control your decisions. You'll do it for them. Power is rarely loud. It's paced. It's the one who can pause without panic, the one who can wait without begging, the one who can move fast only when it benefits them, not when they're pressured. Control the tempo, and you control the room. Control the room, and the outcome obeys. In this video, you're going to learn how to seize tempo without looking needy, without looking aggressive, and without announcing you're doing it. You'll learn how to slow people down when they try to rush you into a mistake, how to speed things up when they try to trap you in indecision, how to use silence as a lever, not a gap to fill, how to respond in a way that makes them feel behind, even when they started the chase. Because once you control timing, you control emotion. And once you control emotion, you control choices. By the end, you'll know exactly when to pause, when to move, when to disappear, and when to strike so clean they won't even realize you set the trap. Let's begin. Here's the frame you need. Before the rules, before the tactics, before the performance. Every interaction has a clock. Someone is always trying to set it, and whoever sets it decides what becomes normal. Fast tempo is how they stop you from thinking. They hit you with urgency. They stack questions. They demand immediate answers. They call it efficiency. It's not efficiency. It's extraction. They want your yes before your brain arrives. Slow tempo is how they weaken you. They delay. They get back to you. They leave things unresolved, just long enough for you to start negotiating against yourself. You call it patience. It's not patience. It's hunger. Erratic tempo is the worst. Hot and cold. Praise and silence. Attention and disappearance. That's not mood. That's training. That's how people turn you into a puppet that moves on a schedule you don't control. So understand this. The tempo isn't a side effect of the situation. It is the situation. When you answer instantly, you teach them you're accessible. When you over-explain, you teach them you're pleadable. When you chase clarity, you teach them you're controllable. The goal is not to be slow. The goal is to be untouchable by their timing. You decide when a conversation starts. You decide how long uncertainty is allowed to live. You decide when speed is appropriate and when slowness is a punishment. Control the tempo, and you don't just win arguments. You win positioning, and positioning decides everything. Move one. Refuse their speed. Never answer at the speed they demand. The fastest way to surrender power is to respond on impact, because impact is designed to bypass thought, the urgent text, the sudden accusation, the quick question, the forced decision. They are not asking for your response. They are asking for your timing. When you answer instantly, you teach them you can be pulled like a cord. They learn the button. They press it again. Soon you don't have a personality. You have a reflex. Your first weapon is a deliberate delay, not a dramatic silence, not a cold shoulder, a controlled pause that says, I heard you, and I will move when I decide. The pause does three things at once. It drains their adrenaline, it buys you clarity, and it makes them feel the pressure they tried to place on you. Watch how people behave when you don't match their tempo. The impatient start leaking information. The aggressive start over-explaining. The manipulative start softening their tone. Because when their rhythm fails, their mask slips. They don't know what to do with someone who doesn't jump. Here's how it looks in real life. When they push for an immediate answer, you give a calm acknowledgement and a time boundary. I'll look at it and come back to you. Then you do it on your schedule, not theirs. When they provoke you, you don't defend. You let the moment hang until the emotion loses oxygen. Then you ask one clean question. What outcome are you looking for here? When they throw accusations, You don't rush to prove innocence. You force precision. Be specific. Make them carry the weight of their claim. The one who can pause without panic controls the tempo, and the one who controls tempo controls the outcome. Move 2. Force them into your clock. If they delay you, don't chase. Redesign the timeline so their delay becomes your advantage. Some people don't rush you. They starve you. They circle back. They go quiet. They keep things unfinished because unfinished business creates mental noise. And mental noise makes you obedient. You start checking your phone, replaying conversations, drafting new messages in your head. They're not busy. They're training you to hover. The trap is simple. When they control the waiting, they control your mood. And once they control your mood, they control your decisions. So you do the opposite of what they expect. You set a clock that does not require their participation. Instead of asking, "Did you get a chance?" you deliver a boundary with an exit built in. If I don't hear back by Thursday, I'll assume it's a no and move forward. Calm, clean, no bitterness, no begging. But now the silence costs them something. Now the delay creates consequences they can't ignore. This is what power looks like. Not demanding attention, removing access. You're not trying to pressure them. You're removing the pleasure of making you wait. And notice what happens. When you stop orbiting their schedule, your value returns to you. You stop acting like a person waiting to be chosen. You start acting like a person with options. Use this move in 3 places. In work, when someone stalls a decision, give them a decision deadline and a default outcome. If I don't hear otherwise, I'll proceed with option A. In relationships, when someone goes hot and cold, you don't ask for explanations. You set a standard. If we can't be consistent, we can't do this. Then you go quiet. Let them feel the stability they don't deserve. In conflict, when someone dodges accountability, you don't keep reopening the case. You close it. I'm not revisiting this without a real solution. End of discussion. Tempo control is not always speed. Sometimes it's finality. Because the most dangerous clock is the one you set that keeps moving without them. Move 3. Use silence as a weapon, not a vacuum. Silence is not empty time. It's pressure with no handle. Most people treat silence like a fire alarm. They rush to fill it. They talk faster, explain more, soften their position, confess extra details, volunteer weakness. Not because they want to, because silence makes them feel exposed. That's why silence works. It makes the other person negotiate against themselves. When you speak less, they hear more. When you move slower, they feel rushed. When you pause, they start performing. Here's the mistake. People use silence as a sulk. That's childish and obvious. The move is controlled silence. Calm face, calm body, eyes steady. No anger, no need, just space. That space does 3 things. First, it forces clarity. If they're lying, they now have to hold the lie in the open. If they're manipulating, they now have to escalate without your help. If they're bluffing, they now have to pay the price of their own tension. Second, it breaks their script. Manipulators rely on rhythm. They provoke, you defend. They accuse, you explain. They rush, you comply. Silence cuts the wires. Now they don't know which lever to pull. Third, it gives you the last frame. The final tone people remember is the last one spoken. If you stay silent after their outburst, their energy hangs on them like smoke. If you stay silent after your statement, your words land like a verdict. Use it like this. When they insult you, don't parry. Look at them. Let it sit. Then ask, slow and clean. Are you done? Not angry, bored. The boredom is the blade. When they demand a reaction, don't give them emotion. Give them time. Count to 3 in your head before you answer anything. That tiny delay makes you look untouchable. When they make an offer and watch your face, don't rush into gratitude. Don't rush into rejection. Let silence pull the real terms out of them. People reveal the catch when they panic and quiet. Silence is not weakness. Silence is restraint. And restraint tells the room one thing. You are not controllable by tempo. You are the tempo. Move 4. Change the pace to change the power. When they feel in control, speed up. When they feel in control, slow down. The point is to make them miss their footing. People don't just manipulate with words, they manipulate with rhythm. They learn the pace where you get sloppy, the pace where you get emotional, the pace where you start trying to win instead of trying to position. So you break the rhythm on purpose. If they're flooding you with information, questions, demands, you don't swim in it. You stop the water, you pick one point and force the conversation to obey it. Hold on, we're not doing 5 things at once. Choose one. Now they can't hide inside speed. Now they have to stand on a single claim. If they're moving slow to make you anxious, you don't beg for motion. You accelerate without them. You create motion they can't predict. You take the next step, make the next call, speak to the next person, advance the plan, and when they finally return, they don't find you waiting. They find you already moved. This is how tempo becomes dominance. You're not reacting to the environment, you're creating an environment that punishes their habits. Speed is useful when it steals their ability to prepare. Slowness is useful when it steals their ability to control your mood. Use it like this. When someone tries to intimidate you with rapid-fire accusations, you slow everything down. You ask them to repeat it. You write it down. You request dates, names, facts. The more they wanted chaos, the more you demand structure. Most threats die in structure. When someone tries to trap you in endless thinking about it, you speed up to a decision point. Okay, then we're not doing it. Not as an ultimatum, as a conclusion. Now the delay loses its power because you refuse to live inside it. When someone tries to keep you in discussion forever, you end the discussion with a next step. Send it in writing. We'll revisit after you've done X. You turn talk into action because action has clocks and clocks are harder to manipulate. A predictable pace makes you a predictable target. An unpredictable pace makes you expensive to play with. They can't steer what they can't time. Move 5. Make them play on your turf. Never argue on their timing, in their channel, under their conditions. Some people don't beat you with better logic. They beat you with better staging. They pull you into hallway debates, ambush you in group chats, corner you in front of an audience, force you to respond while your nervous system is still catching up. Then later they call you emotional for reacting to their trap. This is tempo manipulation disguised as spontaneity, so you relocate the conflict. You do not accept surprise meetings. You do not accept public confrontations. You do not accept last-minute quick calls that exist only to rush you into concessions you'll regret. Your move is simple. Change the arena, and you change the pace. When they attack you in the moment, you don't defend in the moment. You pause, then you move the conversation to a format that slows them down and locks them in. Put it in writing. Send me the details. Let's schedule a time. You just strip them of their favorite weapon, improvisation. Because improvisation is how manipulators win. It lets them pivot, deny, rewrite, and escape accountability. Writing and scheduling are cages. They force consistency. They force clarity. They create receipts. And here's the deeper part. When you relocate, you're sending a silent message. I decide the rules of access to me. Use it like this. If they try to corner you verbally, you say, "This isn't a good time. Email me what you need." Then you walk away, not rushed, not angry, calm exit. You just broke the spell. If they try to pressure you on a call, you say, "I'm going to think about it. I'll confirm tomorrow." Then you end it. They wanted a yes while you were live. You gave them a clock that belongs to you. If they confront you publicly, you don't perform. You don't escalate. You give one sentence, then you relocate. We can discuss this privately. That's it. You refuse to be a character in their theater. They want speed because speed gives them plausible deniability. They want chaos because chaos hides weak claims. So you make everything slow, documented, and deliberate. If they want your answer, they earn your conditions. If they want your attention, they accept your tempo. Move 6. Control the ending. control the memory. The last 10 seconds decide what the room believes happened. Most people fight for the middle of the conversation. The explanations, the details, the proof. That's amateur thinking. Power lives at the ending, because the ending becomes the story. If they leave on a joke, you become the joke. If they leave on an accusation, you become the accused. If they leave with your apology, you become the one who was wrong. So you stop letting conversations drift to their preferred conclusion. You close them on purpose, with a final frame that is clean, calm, and difficult to argue with. Here's the technique. You do not win by overpowering their point. You win by placing a label on the entire interaction, then leaving before they can change it. One sentence, then exit. Not emotional, not long, not defensive. A verdict. Examples. If they're trying to bait you into an argument, we're not doing this. End. If they're trying to twist your words, that's not what I said, and you know it. End. If they're trying to keep you in endless discussion, this is going in circles. End. If they're disrespectful, we'll continue when you can speak like an adult. End. Then you stop. You physically move, or you change the subject, or you end the call. No extra sentences. No, and another thing, no final burst of anger, because the moment you keep talking, you reopen the door and they rush in. This is how you weaponize tempo at the highest level, by deciding where the line is and making it real. People who can't end things are controllable. They can be dragged, provoked, kept awake at night by conversations that never finished. People who can end things become dangerous, because they can cut off access in the exact moment it matters most. You're not trying to be liked at the end. You're trying to be remembered correctly. Control the ending. And you control what they tell themselves afterward. Move 7. Lie with your speed. Tell the truth with your stillness. Never let them know what matters to you by how fast you move. People read your tempo like a confession. You reply fast to one person and slow to another, and you just revealed hierarchy. You rush to defend a point, and you just revealed insecurity. You hesitate before a name, and you just revealed fear. Tempo is body language with a stopwatch, so you invert it. You become slow where they expect emotion, and fast where they expect you to fold. When they try to bait you with disrespect, you move slower than the insult deserves. You don't flare, you don't explain, you don't show heat. You make them feel like they threw a punch at a statue. But when it's a decision that protects your position, you move clean and immediate, not with anger, with certainty. A quiet, fast boundary is terrifying because it signals preparation. It signals you've done this before. It signals you won't negotiate. This move creates a contradiction in their mind. They expect speed when you're triggered. They expect slowness when you're leaving. So you deny them both. Slow down your emotions. Speed up your consequences. How it looks. If they criticize you publicly, don't scramble to repair your image. Stillness first. Later, a concise correction in the right setting. You refuse the panic tempo that makes you look guilty. If they test your availability, don't reward it with instant access. Make responsiveness a privilege, not a reflex. The ones who demand immediate replies are always the ones who respect you the least. If they cross a line, don't threaten, act, end the call. Leave the room, cancel the plan, close the door, quickly, quietly, permanently if needed. That speed tells them the line was real. The goal is to become unreadable. They should not be able to tell what hurts you. They should not be able to tell what excites you. They should only be able to tell one thing. When you move, reality changes. That's tempo control at its sharpest. You don't just control the moment. You control what they think is safe to try. Move 8. Set traps with time, not words. If you want the truth, don't ask for it. Create a clock that forces it to surface. People can lie in language all day. They can posture. They can promise. They can perform sincerity. But time exposes what speech can hide. So instead of interrogating, you design a timeline that reveals their intent. You don't say, "Are you serious about this?" You say, "Do this by Friday." You don't say, "Do you respect me?" You say, This is the standard going forward. You don't say, "Are you loyal?" You say, "Choose." Because choices under deadlines are where masks crack. Here's how the trap works. You offer a clear next step with a clear window. Then you go quiet and watch. If they comply, you've learned something. If they stall, you've learned something. If they get offended by the boundary, you've learned everything. The deadline is not to pressure them, it's to expose them. A serious person moves inside structure. A manipulator complains about the structure. Use it in 3 arenas. In work, someone keeps considering your proposal. You give them an expiration. I can hold this rate until Wednesday. Now, you see if they wanted it or just wanted you on standby. In relationships, someone gives you vague commitment. You give them a simple action with a simple time. Let's pick a day this week. If they can't choose a day, they're not choosing you. In conflict, someone says they'll change. You don't debate their intention. You measure behavior. Then this won't happen again. If it happens again, the conversation is over. No speeches, no second trials. Time already testified. And the key is your posture after you said it. No reminders, no chasing, no emotional follow-ups. You set the clock, then you watch who respects it. When you do this consistently, people start arriving differently with you. They stop treating your time like a toy. They stop assuming you'll stay available while they decide what you're worth. Time traps don't need cruelty. They need consistency. Because the most brutal sentence is never spoken. It's the moment you move on without them. Move 9. Disappear to reset the game. If you can't control the tempo inside the interaction, you control it by removing the interaction. Some people are tempo terrorists. They don't want resolution. They want motion. They want you spinning, explaining, reacting, proving, chasing. They thrive on your participation. Your attention is the oxygen. Your replies are the fuel. So you do the one thing their strategy can't survive. You vanish, not as punishment, not as drama, as a reset. Because absence destroys their rhythm. It breaks the loop. It denies them the dopamine of controlling your pulse. And it forces a new truth into the room. You are optional to them, but they are not entitled to you. This is the highest level of tempo control. The ability to stop the music, how to do it correctly. You don't announce it. You don't threaten it. You don't write a manifesto. You just reduce access. Shorter replies, longer gaps, fewer meetings, less emotional bandwidth. You become a door that doesn't open automatically. If they escalate to pull you back in, you stay calm and keep the boundary. If they soften, you still keep the boundary. Because the goal is not to teach them a lesson. The goal is to protect your position. Use disappearance in 3 moments. When they keep pushing the same argument, you end it once, then you go silent. Repetition is control. Silence is refusal. When they disrespect you and expect you to negotiate your dignity, you remove yourself. No speeches, no debate. The consequence is the message. When they use hot and cold to hook you, you become cold and consistent. You don't reward heat. You don't chase cold. You operate on your schedule only. Here's the secret most people miss. If you always stay available, every conflict becomes endless. If you can leave cleanly, every conflict becomes brief. Disappearance turns your life back into your property. And when you return, if you return slower, calmer, and with new rules. Because now they know something they can't unlearn. You are not controlled by their urgency. You are not trapped by their silence. You are not addicted to their rhythm. You can walk away, and that single ability makes every other move work. You don't win by saying the right thing. You win by refusing their timing. When they rush you, you slow down and make them carry their own urgency. You stop responding on impact, because impact is how they steal your judgment. When they delay you, you stop chasing and set a clock that keeps moving without them. Silence stops being a weapon against you when you give it an expiration date. When they bait you, you let quiet do the damage. You use stillness to drain heat, to force clarity, to make weak claims collapse under their own weight. When they flood the room with chaos, you force it into one clean point. When they trap you in endless thinking, you move on and let their indecision become their loss. You change the arena so they can't ambush you. You make everything slower, written, scheduled, and accountable. You close conversations on your terms, so the memory of the moment belongs to you, not to their performance. You become unreadable, slow where they expect emotion, fast where they expect negotiation, calm where they expect panic, certain where they expect you to beg. And when nothing works, you remove access. You reset the game by refusing to play, because the person who can leave cleanly is the person nobody can time. That's tempo control, and once you have it, the outcome starts obeying you. You're going to notice something after this. The same people who used to press you for instant answers will start choosing their words. The ones who used to disappear to make you chase will return with explanations you never asked for. The ones who used to bait you into emotion will suddenly act reasonable, not because they grew, because the old levers stopped working. They were never stronger than you. They were just faster than your discipline. Tempo control is not about being cold for the sake of it. It's about refusing to let other people write your nervous system's schedule, refusing to be summoned, refusing to be trained. You don't need to win every exchange. You need to stop giving away the seconds that decide the exchange. So from here on, remember this: urgency is a tactic, silence is a tactic, chaos is a tactic, and your calm timing is the counter. When you choose the pace, you choose the pressure. When you choose the pressure, you choose the outcome. They can argue with your words. They can't argue with your timing. Like the video if you want more tactics that don't rely on luck or personality. Subscribe if you're done being rushed, baited, and trained by other people's timing. And comment the word tempo if you've ever realized too late that the clock was the real weapon.